This week, YouTube sent me an email saying that the channel complete its first year. So it's celebration time as we make our first anniversary on YouTube. And to commemorate that, I'm creating a series of videos, which I'm gonna call Q&A videos, where I'm gonna be answering all the questions you guys left on the videos on YouTube and also on the comments in the blog. So I got more than 600 questions to answer, and this video is the video number 1, and I'm gonna start from the oldest questions and develop until we get to the more, I say, actual ones, the more recent ones. And there's a lot of questions to cover, so I'm gonna be making this video shorter with more consistent, more of this sort of personal input where I'm gonna be sharing our challenges, struggles, and mistakes together with the questions and answers that everyone have. So if you don't know me yet, my name is Ricardo dos Santos, and this channel is about the eridulife project, which is basically an abandoned finca or farm, if you will, that we purchased on the mountains in the northern Spain. We trying to restore this farm debt-free using the principles of permaculture. We make lots of plans. I'm very good in planning. I've been doing planning, developing projects, things like that on the past, so it's kind of my field. I like that. So, you know, my mentor once said, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And we plan a lot, but you know, as a Winston Churchill once said, no plan survived the first contact with the enemy. And I seen that firsthand because it has been 1 year now. We had some progress, not so much as we expected, but we have some progress. Priorities changed a little bit. I'm going to be talking about this one as I'm answering the questions. And one thing though, if you haven't checked our blog yet, I create a special page, about us page, about me, about Agnes, my wife, about Kala, our dog, about the project, about our plans, about, you know, the way how we're gonna be doing the permanent move, how we're gonna be making money, how the things is gonna go, the content, everything. So you can read that special page and connect with us, because I believe that the world, the way is going on a very wrong direction, where the human being stop to look up for each other, and I don't like that. And I want to make this very personal, creating a real community here with real people, because I have no special skills. I'm a human being like you on the other side, and I'm just, you know, tired of the system that we live in. I suppose what we're trying to achieve here on a long term is live a simple life, self-sustainable life, without the government intervention. I think that's pretty much what it is, you know. And on these Q&A videos, I'm gonna be trying to, you know, go through the questions and also sharing our challenges, struggles, and mistakes along the journey with you. First question I have from the oldest questions is the most asked questions, being asked more than 100 times, is how much we paid for the land. So let's break this one in parts here. We pay in total was less than 20,000 euros 1 year ago in 2022. And that 20,000 euros includes, I made a list of things here for don't escape too much from the topics, includes tax, the notary tax, and also the government tax. Is two different things. Maybe another video I'm gonna go exactly the percentage of each one. That initial payment also cover the gestoria, which is a middleman, a lawyer or an accountant, a person who represents you, because it's very bureaucratic, the system in Spain. And also fees. You pay fees for a lot of things, you know. You pay fees for getting the land, to transfer the title, to register into the ajuntamento de urbanização, which is the council tax, things like that. So all these fees together sum up with this less than 20,000 euros. Maybe another video I'm gonna come with a table of the exactly breaking down everything that we paid and how much percentage was, but more or less was that. This 20,000 also included our trips to Spain to visit the lands, to, you know, and this includes travel, food, hotel expenses, car rentals, Airbnbs, so on and so forth. We've done this many times on a couple of years, so everything builds up on that amount. And I think it's important to account to that, because it's not only how much we pay for the land, it's everything is as a package included. And I'm talking this one just to have the land secure on our name with the title in our name. So there is a big misunderstanding this world that we live in, especially in the European Union, that when we purchase a land in some other countries, the land is yours. Here, I don't think it works that way, because what we purchase is the title for the land, because anything that you want to build on it, anything that you want to restore on it, you need the permission for it. So that's how it is. You can't avoid it, so you gotta pay taxes, notaries, gestors, fees, and so on and so forth. So it is what it is. I'm not fussing about. I understand that, and you know, I'm okay with that. So yeah, so this is the question number one, the most asked question, and I think it was, you know, creating another video talking only about these fees. If you guys would like me to do that, leave the comments below so we can build up more questions and create more contents to help you to, you know, if you in future want to do the same thing that we're doing, you know, going off the system and going towards living a more simple life. And yeah, I'm be more than happy to doing that. Now that we left clear the question number one, we're going to the question number two, which has been asked more than 30 times, which is, why don't you demolish everything and build a new house? When you purchase off-grid property like that, you're not actually buying the land itself, you're buying the title. And there is a difference in buying the land and buying the title of the land. With buying the land, you can do whatever you want, the land is yours. Not the case in the European Union, where you're buying the title of the land. There is a lot of restrictions, and especially the area where we are, because we are between natural park, which is a protected area, both mountains, both sides, different national reserves, I would say, that's the appropriate word. And there is legislations and laws that does not allow we demolish the house. As we standing now, the house have total footprint is about 105 square meters, which standing with a roof in the top is about 59 square meters. So we can only restore the part of the house which has a roof on the top. And the word for that is not restoration, is a rehabilitation. So to rehabilitate the house, we need an assistance of an architect. So the architect needs to build up a project, need to take this project to the system, and the system have to approve. When the system have to approve, there is fees to pay, and I'm okay with that. If that's the only way we can do it, I'm more than happy to carry on that road. But if we demolish the house, we don't have a house anymore. So basically that's simple. And understanding what the legislation law says is not even what the law says. It's more like when the laws was created, it was back, we go back to the dictatorship time from the Franco, it didn't change. So it's still the same law. So there are gaps, you know, loopholes, if you will. And with an architect, he knows how to go around some of those loopholes, and with a self-sustainable project, which of course need an architect signature and all that kind of part. You know, the architect also, he work as a gestor, a middleman. You don't go personally to ask for doing things on the town hall. The architect goes and do that on your behalf. And I think that is one of the big mistakes I've seen. The people looking for a land, or they buy a land in Spain and they go in person to the town hall, say, listen, I bought this land, what can I do there? First thing they're gonna tell you, no, you can't do anything. They don't know you, they don't trust you, and they don't like you. Basically, that's what it is. That's the way it is in Spain. And when you understand that, you go around the way that can be done. I was very fortunate that find good contacts right from the beginning, and which my neighbors, David and Jane, if you watch this video, guys, I like you so much, and I'm so privileged to have you guys as neighbors, because David and Jane, they gave me a lot of contacts, including the architect, and so this way we are making the how can I say, pushing the project forward, and it's very important to understand. There was a downsize on the project. I would say that's something that came up. Remember in the beginning of the video when I said that no plan survived the first contact with the enemy, and that's pretty much one of them. So there was a lot of rain, and one part of the house, because got cracks on the roofs, and the infiltration went into the walls, and the walls crumbled, and the house was kind of tilting, collapsing to one side. We need to do an emergency work. It cost a lot of money to do that. I wasn't very happy about that, but it has to be done because we need to secure the house. The house got all these egg crops and holding the house from one side to the other side, and this way the house is secure there for the coming years. So we're gonna do the restoration, and yeah, so that's why we cannot demolish and build a new one, especially where we are in Spain, Catalonia. The legislation does not allow that, especially when you are on the reserve or national park, some place where it's protected. So you know, that's how it is, and I'm okay with that too. So if we need to go around with an architect which is gonna have an extra cost on top of the build, is okay too. So the most important thing that we have a house, and the house is registered as a vivienda, which is a living house, and we can live there. So that's the most important thing, because some houses, they are casa de campo, which you cannot live there. In this case, we can live there. Let's go to the next question, which been asked more than 20 times, which is, when are you planning to move permanently to the finca or to the farm? So that's a good question, because initially on the first videos I said that we are planning to do the move within 2 to 3 years. We receive a lot of good feedback and negative feedback on that. People say, oh, it's impossible for you to do the moving within at least 5 to 10 years. But and then when I recorded the videos, the project overview and the plans to the future video, and then people understood that, oh, Ricardo have a very clear plan on the way that you're going to be doing step by step, and each step is going to go towards the completion of the project. And the people start to understand that 2 to 3 years was doable. It is doable, of course. You need to have a capital. That's why I came back to UK to work, and I'm going to be talking about that challenge, struggles, and mistakes that we have done, that I have done, that, you know, I was not accounted for. And yeah, so initially it was this 2 to 3 years plan to move, but now that the things does not look so great in UK, and I'm going to be talking about that in lots of videos from now on, you know, and we are planning to do the permanent move in spring 2024, and somewhere around April, May, or June, somewhere on that time. And the priority initially was, the plan is still living permanently self-sustainable, off-grid, without government intervention, right there in the finca. And to do that, we first thought, okay, we're gonna restore the stone house. That's what is gonna take the biggest chunk of initial capital to do the restoration. I'm gonna create another video talking specific about the house as well, the cost, what is involved, what we can do, what we cannot, and how within the eyes of the legislation, the law, that the procedure needs to be done. I think it's important because people don't understand that very much. I did not understand. It took me 1 year of deep research, talking to the architect back and forth, emails and calls, and then to understand the processes. Actually, once you know how to do it, it's pretty simple, But the house is not a priority. Number one is priority, but it's not number one anymore. The priority now is to build the camp base one, where I'm gonna bring in a caravan to make a, sort of more comfortable accommodation for sleep, a place dry to where to study, editing videos, doing my research, and all these kind of things. And building a sort of camping similar to the one Martin Dullard have. He lives on a tent. I don't want to live in a tent because there is too many snakes in the land. And on a caravan is gonna be a more kind of protected kind of way of living, if you know what I mean. And yeah, so the priority is to build first the camp base one. So answering the question, when are you planning to move permanently in the finca? So it's gonna be in 2024, somewhere on the spring, on the end of the spring, before the summer time. That's the plan. So, but as the Winston Churchill once said, no plan survive the first contact with the enemy. So let's see. So it's a lot of months until you get there. So one thing that I want to leave clear on this question here or on this video is we are trying to build this project debt-free. So I'm not taking loans, I'm not using credit cards, I'm not taking mortgages, anything like that. So, everything that is gonna be built there is gonna be debt-free. For you to have an idea, when we purchased the land, as it is now, we sold our house, paid off the mortgage, paid lots of debits, and whatever profit was left, my part, I took that, everything I have, and I purchased the land, debt-free. If I move there, I don't owe anything to anyone. So basically that's what it is. And I think it's important to leave this clear because we don't want to be making debts right now. The economy is so uncertain now, and I keep on giving this advice to a lot of people. Sort out your debts, sort out everything that you owe, and, live a more minimalist life. So, because if you want really to make this step forward going to the off-grid, you got to start from the way you live now. And the way you live now, you got too much clutter. You should start decluttering. That's what I did. And I started frog things on Facebook Marketplace, and I felt good to, release those things which I have, material things which I did not use it, and that helped me to build this life that I have now. And in this house that we are living here now, we're living here for a couple months only, and I'm renting from a good friend of mine, and I got the minimum here. A house was furniture already. If I'm to move tomorrow, I got like 2 suitcases, 2 boxes with the kitchen things, and that's it. That's all we have around, and that helps a lot to go towards that philosophy of building debt-free. The next question is being asked quite a bit, more than 20 times as well. What are you going to do about the snakes in the land? On the last video, when I uploaded to the channel, I was working, actually I'm working, the continuation of that video is coming soon. I'm building the water system because the water is priority. And there is a particular area behind the house on the upper terraces, which is very near the mountains. And in the mountains there is a lot of small caves. I suppose those caves, they are snake nests. And there is a lot of the snakes there. The kind of snake that we have there, they call Vibora aspid, or in translating to English is European asp. I did the research and I figured out that snake is poisonous. And about 3% of the people that get bitten by those snakes, they die. So if, you know, if an event comes in where one of the snakes bite one of us and we need to go to hospital very quickly, so to get the antidote and so on, I can't kill them because they are part of the environment. And I think that's one of the principles of permaculture, where I need to, you know, learn how to coexist with them. And that's important for me, for us, for the project, because their natural habitat is there. The land being abandoned for so many years, we coming in, they are there all over the place. Now that we clear the land a little bit, they seems to become a little bit more shy to coming in an open field, but still seeing them. On the next land, which is abandoned there, not abandoned, the neighbor don't look after very much, I can see a lot of skins. They change the skins and they're quite big, about a meter or so, and there's lots of them. I'm skeptical with Kala, with the snakes. So at the beginning I was super scared as well, freak out completely. Now I got more used to. The other day I was there standing and one just passed between my legs. I stay still. It just passed, went in, you know, on its own way. And if you don't mess up with them, if you don't step on them, they don't attack you. They just attack when they feel threatened by you. And, you know, I can't do anything about that. So I just need to learn how to live, coexist with them. So when instead building a tent for the camp-based one, a caravan will be a more robust place. Caravan got a lot of openings on the floor. I'm gonna put some sort of mesh protection to make sure that no scorpions. We got little brown scorpions there as well, spiders, snakes, things like that comes inside the caravan. And to deal with the snakes, I've been thinking as well, instead, when the house will be restored, instead having one full door opening, we got that door that opening in parts, half, top and bottom, where you keep in the bottom closed and open the top. If you know what I mean, I don't know how they call, if you know the name of those doors that split, leave the comment below so I can talk about the correct name on the next video. I'm thinking about doing one of those doors so the snakes don't come in the house. Eventually they'll come. So not, you know, it's something is inevitable because it's too many of them. And Kala as well, our dog, she never seen one. I think she needs to confront one to see how it's gonna react. Some dogs like Jack Russell, the pinchers, these dogs, they instinct as well. When they see a snake, they go and kill it right away, you know. And chickens as well are very good natural protection against the snakes because they throw away the snakes. If it's too small, they kill it. And, you know, it is what it is. You know, I can't do much about the snakes, but, you know, I have to point to this question because this was asked a lot of times. Now that I'm answered 4 of the initial questions, I would like to add a bonus part here where I'm going to be talking about the challenge, struggles and mistakes that we've done so far. And I think people have a misconception about doing these projects like that because some of these celebrities that are already on YouTube living off grid, they already got a sort of income. They live already from the online, from the internet, and for them it's easy to do the transition. They sort of plan a long time the transition. They got the initial capital for investments. For instance, I can give an example from Martin Dullard. He have the capital because he was already doing this one before. The indie projects, they already have the capital. The Make Do Grow they already have the capital, they planned this a long time ago. I didn't have that privilege of planning this a long time ago, so what I did, was a bold movement. When, all those restrictions back on the day, couple years back when they came in, I don't want to say the name here, but you guys know what I'm talking about. I kind of freak out, and I thought, oh, this does not look good. And right back there and then we make a decision to sell the house. We tied up the house and we sold it, paid off the mortgage, with the profit I used to buy the land and go towards this off-grid. And I'm gonna be doing another video talking about the reality of off-grid, because you're not completely off-grid, you're not isolated somewhere, completely far away from civilization. You are on the edge of civilization or on the border of civilization. I more like the concept, was introduced by me to my friend Rodrigo, which is in Brazil. He's doing an off-grid project as well. He introduced me to that terminology, and I think I like to use that from now on. What we are trying to build is living on the border or the edge of the system. That's what it is. So a little bit far away, not so far away, within access, to supermarket, to groceries, to, hard wire stores where you can buy things, supplies, but you live self-sustainable, quite a little bit far away without too much of the intervention from the government. That's what we're trying to build. One of the main challenges which I have for this project so far were to live in apart from the family, where I have to come back to UK to work, and Agnes and Carla stay over in Spain. And that was very difficult because during that time I didn't have work here and I didn't have a place to stay. Although I stay a couple days on my sister-in-law house on the city where I used to live in Eastbourne, and then I moved here to Bedfordshire, and I have to look for work and I have to look for a place to stay. I found a very nice room with a very nice lady, Linda, her name. If you watch this video, Linda, thank you very much for your hospitality, for the time I've been there. I really enjoyed. Thanks for sharing your house with me. And I'm a HGV driver, class 1 driver. I drive Arctics, which is the articulated trucks, and I work as an agency driver. And that's a big struggle because an agency driver is a sort of a relief driver. When the things get busy and they don't, their own core drivers, the companies, can't cover the jobs, they hire agency drivers to do the job. When there is no busy, we don't have work. So basically we work under something called 0 hours contracts. And that's a main challenge because everyone is preparing to the busy time now. And guess what? There is no busy time coming. I travel all across the country. I drive around 600 to 800 kilometers a night, and the base is in Bedfordshire, and I drive as south as far as Cornwall, north as far as Yorkshire, and we go all over the place, and I talk with a lot of small companies, a lot of small business owners, and everyone is struggling right now. How can you not, with the uncertainty of the way things going, with the, mortgage, the interest rates going up so much, people renewing the mortgage, they're paying almost double they used to pay before. People they holding the money, and when they hold the money, everything else kind of is slowing down to almost a hold. That's what we're standing now in UK, and in Europe is the same thing. And it's uncertain, the future, and I get a lot of stress during these times, and thanks to being with the family here now, we are living in Bedfordshire and we are all together. Right now Agnes and Carla are not here. They went down to Eastbourne to stay with my sister-in-law, Agnes' sister dog, for a couple of days. They went abroad, but it helps a lot when the family is around, when you come in on that day where you work 14, 15-hour shift and you're tired, and you come home and you have people that you love, people who care about you. When they are next to you is nice. When you are alone is difficult. Some days, especially in winter times, you wake up I work nighttime. I start to work like 5, 6 p.m. and I work all the way up to 8 o'clock in the morning. And I'm sleeping from between after 10 o'clock. I wake up around 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And then when you wake up, house is empty, you don't have no one to talk. It was, oh my God, it was extremely hard. And I appreciate very much to have, my wife and the dog with me every night. Funny thing though, every night when I come in, every morning actually, Carla will be sitting here waiting for me. She does not sleep upstairs. She comes maybe sometime in the nighttime and she stay all night waiting for me. And then when I open the door, comes in, she's so happy. And my God, this is so good to have a creature that loves you like that unconditionally. Is nice, And another thing which is making this project very challenging, when I mean challenge, I mean to build this debt free, because I'm working here, paying all the expenses. I'm renting a house, renting from a good friend of mine. And, the cost of living is difficult already. And you go to supermarket, is buy petrol, car insurance, maintenance, things like that. The bills for electricity, everything builds up. Once you pay all that, whatever is left, I put towards the project on a save account. And this makes very challenge, and the struggle is real. And when you compare to the celebrities, they already, when I mean celebrities, I mean these people who are super famous on YouTube. They got big channels. The revenue that YouTube itself gives them, they can do the project while they living in the project, which is nice. Which I as it's standing now, I don't see a way to do that yet, but you come, I'm pretty sure it will. And all of these things makes the struggle so tense. But one thing though, if you don't have a clear vision where you are going, these things will mess you up so much, and you're gonna lose the orientation of the direction that you take, And one of the big mistakes which I kind of regret from the past, and this is big, and I think most of the people in this society that we live in, they suffering from the same mistakes, which not creating a money reserve, we not being educated to, from the early days when you start to work, to start to build a money reserve on that. Some families, they're very traditional on the way that they raise the kids. They've been raised by the parents. They put the kids, but I'm talking about high-end middle class, with people who have investments on the stock market. They have real estate. I'm not talking about these people. I'm talking about the middle class men, the worker, the people who push this economy, me, you, and we have not been educated in money reserve. When I started this project, I didn't have any. If I didn't sell the house, if I didn't have the house, I would not have this project done. And one of the big mistakes I done was not to educate myself financially towards, having multiple sources of incomes, stock market, invest in cryptocurrencies, things like that, And I'm re-educating myself now. I start to build a reserve on the cryptocurrency. I start to build a reserve on silver. If you don't buy silver, I extremely advise you to start to look into that as well. And yeah, so this is some of the challenges, the struggles and mistakes that I have made through this journey. And I think I'll wrap it up for this video now, otherwise it's going to become too long. And I hope you enjoy this video. I hope that I answer some of your questions. And if you have questions about us, about the project, check out the blog. I'll leave the links somewhere around for you to read more a little bit about us, to understand where you're coming from, where we're going to, and the plans, everything that we intended to do on the project. I'm updating that page constantly. And I hope you enjoy. If you have an extra question, leave in the comments. I'm gonna answer all of them. One thing very important is I take pride on that. Every single comment on YouTube, it took me almost 1 year to reply. I reply every single one of them. It was me, myself, who reply you there. So if you leave a question, I will make my time to answer your question. So yeah, so ask questions, so leave comments, feedbacks, anything you like. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Bye.